The Clippers and Ty Lue have agreed on a 5-year deal to make him the team's new head coach, sources told our Adrian Wojnarowski. The sides completed negotiations Thursday afternoon. The Clippers search landed on the 43-year-old Lue based on his championship pedigree, playoff successes as a head coach in Cleveland, as well as his strong ability to communicate with players, sources told Woj. We're going to bring in Woj because why not just go straight to the guy who has all the information? Woj, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us on what has been an incredibly busy day for you. What more can you tell us about how this Clippers arrangement came together? Because, of course, Ty was the speculative choice once Doc was let go. But there were a lot of questions about whether if you let go Doc Rivers, are you really going to want to go with his lead assistant? How did this all come together?
Rachel, when they let Doc Rivers go, Steve Ballmer wanted to conduct a search. He wanted to go out and talk to other candidates, and they did that. They talked to, I think, at least probably close to 10 to 12 candidates around the league, maybe even more, and we're serious about a couple. But they knew what they had in Ty Lue, and everybody was chasing him in this process. He was legitimately the favorite throughout, and I think as they went out and talked, I think it solidified the fact that the qualities that Ty Lue had, and you mentioned him as some I described in this story, he's won a championship. He has shown himself to be very tactically sound as a head coach, and in the playoffs when you've got to make adjustments. He understands the glare of the spotlight that comes with a job like that. You get that in Cleveland coaching LeBron James. And the relationships and the coaching he's already done with the group they have, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, he was from the very beginning the favorite, and there was nothing in the process that dissuaded the Clippers from thinking that they had the right guy right there for them. 5-year contract, I'm told, and they really see Ty Lue as somebody who's going to be a program builder, and they hope to have him in place for a very long time. It's interesting when you look at his journey here because he was offered the LA Lakers job last season, and he decided not to take it because of the kind of contract they offered him, because, and this is all from your reporting, what they had decided about who his assistants would be. Do you think in the end, waiting that year, the Lakers went on and won the title without him? Now he's with the Clippers, he's got the head job and the more favorable contract you just mentioned. Do you think that in the end, he's going to be happy with the way he played all of this? Well, really only Ty will know that. Certainly with the Lakers, at the time, they hadn't made the trade yet for Anthony Davis, but I think there was optimism they could get it done. And you would probably assume it was a 3-year deal they offered him at the time. And it was essentially the same deal Frank Vogel took with the Lakers. And, excuse me, you'd expect that at some point here, Frank Vogel, whether it's this year, next year, might get an extension off that. But it's a decision that Ty Lue made in the moment. And now, listen, he gets a chance to stay in L.A., an organization that certainly has championship aspirations, but a team that very much underachieved, losing in the conference semifinals, blowing that 3-1 lead to Denver. And listen, there's a lot of work to be done within the Clippers to compete with the Lakers. They thought they would do that this year. They couldn't even get to that conference finals. But Ty Lue now certainly with an organization, Lawrence Frank as the president, Mike Winger at GM, Steve Ballmer, they know him, they believe in him. And he gets an opportunity here to, now try to compete with a Laker team that he had for a very long time dreamed of coaching. Yeah, it is fascinating. I think all of these chess moves, watching them play out over, in this case, a 2-year span with Ty Lue and seeing him finally end up with the Clippers with this kind of contract. Of course, that's not all you've been doing today, Woj. Just following this story, you dropped another bomb just an hour or so ago. Rockets general manager Daryl Morey stepping down after 13 seasons with the franchise. Rockets are planning to promote Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations, Rafael Stone, to general manager, according to your sources. So what led to this decision with Daryl? Yeah, Daryl Morey had been thinking about this, I'm told, in the bubble and then coming out of the bubble, sitting down with Tillman Fertitta, the Rockets owner, and started a conversation about the idea that he might be ready to step away. As you said, 13 years as the GM, 14 years in Houston, a lot of success. They were the second winningest team in the league in the regular season over that period. Only the Spurs have won more, and 8 straight trips to the playoffs, didn't win a championship, didn't get to the finals. but everything's short of that. And I think for Daryl Morey, it's a chance to sort of hit the reset button in his life. Both of his children are college age. They're going to be taking gap years during the pandemic, a chance to be with them. And I think Daryl Morey has aspirations to at some point return in the NBA, on the team side. But, he sat down with Fertitta. They went through this and finally came to an agreement. And Morey is going to continue. He's been involved in the coaching process, and he's going to kind of help shepherd them here until they get a hire and kind of in an advisory role as Stone now moves up and takes over as GM.
It's so interesting, and obviously such a tumultuous year for the Rockets, for Daryl Morey specifically, starting with that tweet and all that happened after that in China. But he's been a central figure in the NBA, as you note, for more than a decade, and it will be strange not to have him in the league next year. We certainly wish him the best with all he wants to explore, and we do hope that he comes back. Woj, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.